today I will discuss what we have been discussed last time from my groupmates, in which the topic that we have is leases or the leases. For me as a student, and based on what I've read before, it is about a contract, or let's say part of contract that conveys the right to use an asset, in which it is also a period of time that we need in exchange, or in exchange for consideration. So the leases or lease is one of the most important, in which the contrast or the contract that we have, it take time before it should have the consideration. Based also on the topic that we have discussed last time, there are two types of leases or parties for leases contract. The first one is the lease, in which it is spelled LESSEE, in which it is the entity that obtain the right to use an underlying asset for a period of time in exchange for consideration, in which it is from the book of the Intermediate Accounting 2. And based also on our book, Intermediate Accounting 2, the second one is the lessor, in which it is the entity provided, in which a time exchange for consideration also. So these two types of parties for leases contract also needs an exchange or time in exchange for consideration. So lease payments also consist of many types of payments. So the first one, the fixed payment, in which this lease is incentives receivable. The next one is variable payments, in which it is based on index rate. The third one is the amount expected to be payable for or under a residual value guarantee. Then the fourth one is the purchase option, in which it is reasonably certain. And the last one is the termination penalties and payments, in which it is optional, and extension periods if it is reasonably certain. So this recognition exemption of it for short term and low value leases, it is elect to recognize lease payments as expensive over the lease term, or straight line basis, or more appropriate basis. So the value leases also need to recognize for lease payments before an expense or over the lease term should be inappropriate. So next is the lessor, also classifies as finance lease or operating lease. What is finance lease or operating lease? So finance lease or operating lease is one that transfer substantially all the risky and rewards incidental to ownership of an underlying asset, in which this leases also uses the formula of net investment equals PV of LP plus PV of unguaranteed RV. So sales and lease back are both of it are determined whether the transaction qualifies as a sale under PFRS 15. So leases has the common, in which the two types, the leases and the lessor. Then the sixth type, I think, I've said before. Then also lessor also classifies as finance lease and operating lease, in which it also called them finance lease or operating lease. So as we've discussed this further last time, we also share some of the moment in which we learned a lot. Also in using this formula, in which This one is very important, in which it is really applied, especially in solving problem, also in understanding the cases and the situations of each payments or the types of payments. So that's all, and good evening.